Good evening, everyone. I'm Aparna, the founder of Elefant in the Room. I'm here today in association with Bring Back Green Foundation, Fridays for Future Cochin Wing in association with Fridays for Future India and Greenpeace India. So it's with a little project called the Month of Digital Climate Action. And I think they have been running a few campaigns already the last 2 weeks. And this week, Elephant in the Room and I will be joining you with the topic gender and climate change. So as an introduction, let me start by asking the question, what do you think, is climate change gender neutral? Actually, a lot of us have this notion that climate change is pretty gender neutral. But I think this thought is as futile as believing that climate change is class neutral or that it affects each and every one of us on this planet the very same way. Nothing could be further from the truth because though it is a very global crisis, climate change, it affects us in varying degrees, and this degree is determined by the seat of privilege that we all sit upon. Like any other natural crisis or a calamity, even climate change, it affects the most disadvantaged, the most marginalized communities in the most primate manner. And the women in these communities, actually, they are marginalized twice. First, by being born in a poor family or a low caste or with the wrong surname, and second, by being born a woman. Though we actually talk about the modern era we live in, where empowered women are celebrated and gender diversities are accepted, we are really far away from being a gender equal society. And the gender minorities as well as women, they are more than often treated as second class citizens in our society. And we have all kinds of statistics to prove this. Let us just think about the gender pay gap. It still is a reality today in all of the world. The global average of an earning woman, it is only 30 to 80% of what her male counterpart earns. And when it comes to gender minorities, they even today find it really hard to find a placement or to retain a job that they get because of their gender identity. And so, who do you think would be the most vulnerable, the most exposed when climate change comes knocking at our doors at an even faster rate than today? Let's answer that question with maybe a small example. So, it is said that in the coming decades, the climate change, the most adverse effects of climate change is going to be seen in the distribution of resources, natural resources. And reports suggest that in the coming years, most of the developing countries would have to wage a war of water. There will be acute water shortage and food shortage. In most of the marginalized communities in these countries, women carry the burden of fetching water for the entire family. So when most of them actually have to walk long distances, and we have all seen pictures and documentaries of women with children on one hip and with pots of water on the other, walking by foot to reach their house with huge quantities of water for the week or maybe for the day. So when climate change hits us and there's the already existing water resources dry up, it means they have to walk even further. It means more risks for their life. Not just that, it means more adolescent girls will have to drop out from school so that they can fetch water for the family or send their kid brother to the school because his education will be prioritized over hers. And this, believe me, is not a picture from the distant future. It's already happening. I personally have reported in communities where adolescent girls have to drop out so that they can fetch water, or because they are menstruating, and menstruating girls can't afford to go to school, either because of socio-cultural taboos or because they lack the access to sustainable menstrual products. So actually this gives you a glimpse of the kind of topics that we'll be dealing with in the coming days. There are 5 more days to go where we will be talking about ecofeminism and sustainable menstruation and gender stereotyping within climate change. So do come back and hear us out, because I think we can not have a conversation, or we cannot believe that we can fight climate change without fighting gender differences and gender inequalities first. So let's start the conversation about this today, and until tomorrow, bye.